It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting on either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleanians in a bar today, we're at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, where they put fine dining into a sandwich and fine booze into a glass. And Myesha, what's wrong? Something's happened already. They have a 3-hour... What's wrong? You're taking a photo of you or me, or both of us?
That note of encouragement.
Me, sure, go ahead. They have a 3-hour happy hour here at Wayfair every day from 4 to 7. And they also have an awesome brunch on the weekends, which technically is Saturday and Sunday, if you're keeping score at home. So this is who's sitting around the table here. Myesha Francis, who is taking a photo of me. Where can I find that photo? On your Facebook page or Twitter account or what?
Instagram.
Instagram. You're on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram handle is When the Spirit Speaks.
When the Spirit Speaks. Okay, are you like a medium or something?
No.
So this is just you on the Instagram account. It's not
no,
the spirits.
but I feel like Spirit is always speaking to me, and I like to speak from a place of, deep intuition. So when I speak, that's Spirit speaking.
So you have deep intuition.
Sometimes.
I'm a little scared now.
It don't always happen, to be honest.
I got nothing to hide. I'm not scared.
This is Colin Lake, who's a singer-songwriter. Colin
That's
Movement
me, yep.
there you are, is joining us as well. And Garrett Frank is here too.
Hey, how you doing?
Garrett is a licensed realtor.
That's correct.
How do you get a license for that? You have to pay someone?
Yeah, you have to pay someone, take tests, pass the boards, yada, yada.
How hard is it?
With a little studying, anything's possible. It's not too hard.
Right.
But,
What did you do before that?
I was in weld and metal inspections to be...
Metal inspection?
Yeah, completely unrelated.
Wow. So who'd you get a text from, Myesha? Anybody interesting?
I can't tell this one.
Were you well?
That's a private text. Is it from someone who's living on Earth, or is it a spirit?
It is definitely a human being.
It's a human being. Do you ever get texts from beyond the grave?
No, never.
So
I don't want any text.
So when you're talking about spirit, you're not talking about spirits of dead people. You're talking about the soul.
I'm talking about the soul of the world. I'm talking about the one, the creator, spirit, just the isness of isness. The
isness. So you're in touch with all that.
I try to be.
Right. How'd that start up? Did that start when you were a kid, or just when you started smoking weed?
No. I was raised Southern Baptist New Orleans, period. Toe tapping, church running, tambourine.
What church was this?
You know what? I grew up in Fellowship Church right up here, uptown on General Taylor.
So you're an uptown girl.
Well, I grew up in New Orleans East, but I went to church uptown.
Why did you have to drive all the way to uptown to go to church?
You want me to question my mama?
Well, I just wondered if there was a good reason.
I'm not.
Is Jesus better uptown or something?
I don't know. Maybe that's where Black Jesus live. I don't know.
Black Jesus.
I don't know.
I
thought that was the only one.
Wasn't Jesus black actually for real though?
I at this point now, discovering my spirituality for myself, I believe so.
You do?
I do.
I think anthropologically he was actually Semitic looking rather than the Jesus we've seen in the New Testament.
And then I really just have to say that the Jesus, and this is my truth now, right? So the Jesus that I learned about growing up is not the Jesus that I know about now. So the Jesus that I know now is this transcendental, loving being. The Jesus I grew up learning about was separatist,
scolding.
Scolding. But the Jesus I know now is love.
But isn't there a difference between Jesus and God? Wasn't God the person who cast you into hell and everything? Well, Jesus doesn't do that, does he? I mean, isn't Jesus in the Bible still forgiving and turn the other cheek and everything?
Yo, I'm no theologian.
Well, luckily, nor am I, so I don't know. But isn't that, Garrett, did you grow up with any kind of religion?
Yeah, I was raised Catholic.
Here in New Orleans?
Yeah, well, Metairie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not close enough?
Yeah,
That's part of New Orleans,
down
I think.
the street.
Yeah. So what church did you go to?
Well, went to St. Catherine of Siena, which is where I went to grammar school, so went to church there as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
And what kind of Jesus was going on there? Was it the evil Jesus? Or
No,
the
mine was
okay?
Asian, actually.
Asian Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Chopstick Jesus, yeah. Short.
What did he look like?
I won't laugh at that.
Like Bruce Lee, kind
Asian.
of like kicking ass, or
He was more like a guy you see behind the sushi bar, you know?
okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Colin, where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Pacific Northwest. I grew up in Seattle, Washington.
Right, and what's the Jesus situation there?
I mean, I didn't grow up with religion,
Right.
so I mean, there's plenty of churches and plenty of Presbyterian, some Lutheran, that sort of thing. Kind of the boringer side of religion. I
Is
guess.
that the non-dancing people? Or?
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
So you grew up in that
Not that
environment?
they don't
or you-
outlaw dancing, just that they would never have any inclination to dance.
Oh, okay. So, but you didn't grow up inside of that, though.
No, not at all.
So you had no like religious background when you were a kid.
Correct.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So have you discovered anything since you've been an adult?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't become religious, but I've certainly become open to the spiritual side of things, and I think moving to New Orleans, was a big, was a big piece of that.
You didn't do that. You didn't move to New Orleans to have any kind of spiritual self-development or anything.
No, but
It was
I
just
think
a byproduct.
I felt myself, connecting to the sort of openness and the sort of. I think there is definitely a palpable spirit here, and probably in other places that you don't feel in.
I agree with that.
In
Yeah,
many or
for
most
sure.
other places.
What is that?
It's in the old bones of the buildings and the structures and the cemeteries. You feel it. And when you go other places, it just feels like a giant Ruby's Tuesdays, you know?
Amen to that.
Yeah.
It's also in the faces of the people and the fact that just the way that New Orleanians interact with one another and with the
I agree
city
with
and
that.
and everybody around them and the
agree with
visitors. I mean, one of the reasons people love to come visit here is because they may not be of that, but they can connect with that
Well, they're
quite
right.
easily.
Because
right?
it's spirit. And
It's spirit.
spirit is
Universal.
universal,
Yep.
linear, continuous, running through everything and everybody.
So why
The
isn't
soul
it?
of the
Why
world.
isn't it in the Pacific Northwest then?
They
does
may
it- why does
suppress it. It's
why does
there.
it stop in Slidell?
It's
No.
there because I could have went and met Colin in the Pacific Northwest, and we would connect on a spirit level, maybe
Sure.
not on a physical surface and all this other stuff, but on a spirit. He's a living, breathing being and a human being.
Well,
so we would have
Can you
connected.
connect?
I think it's more that exists in everybody and for everybody, but that it's repressed, all the way in a lot of places, or almost all the way in a lot of places, and repressed less so here. I mean,
Sure.
it's
And you know what's shocking to me? Like, people come here to party hard, and they don't even know that a lot of New Orleanians are just very spiritual. Like, they don't even know that. Like, okay, yeah, we're second lining on Sunday, but everybody was in church at 11. They don't even think about that.
No, there's definitely two New Orleans. There's the New Orleans that you see as a tourist, which is Mardi Gras and Jazz Fest and Bourbon Street. And then there's the New Orleans that you find out if you live here,
Right.
which is a whole other thing, which is basically the same thing, except, it's mostly drinking and partying, isn't it, and eating?
In New Orleans?
That's what it's all about. There's nothing
Yeah, I
else.
like that. Yeah.
Hiking,
That's what it's
camping,
all
canoeing,
cut out,
recreational
That's what we do.
activity doesn't exist here.
And
cut
drink
out all the
coffee.
things that
We
you're supposed to
don't
do
do none of
before the drinking and just go straight to
Right, we skip all that.
Yeah, it's funny that we all agree that there's two different New Orleans. That there's the New Orleans
Two
that the
different.
tourists see but don't see, but it's actually the same thing.
Sure.
It's just going on in different places. You know what I mean? It's still the party continues. It's just not continuous. We don't walk down Bourbon Street with a drink and, throw up and piss on somebody's front steps.
No, we know better.
Yeah, we go home and
Yeah, 'cause they got
Morals in New
cameras
Orleans.
now.
What are you
Yeah,
talking
right.
about?
there's cameras. Exactly. So, Colin, what made you move here?
Oh, I mean, I visited during Jazz Fest. I mean, I was a
that's-
tourist. I was, I drank the Kool-Aid on my first visit in 2008. It actually wasn't my very first visit, but my first visit as a awake adult, so to speak.
Right.
And just fell in love. I mean, the brass bands on the street. I think just springtime in New Orleans when the flowers are just busting out and the banana trees, all the tropical plants just can't be contained, and it's just bright and it's like you can almost see it. I mean, New Orleans in the springtime is pure love to me. It's just what it is, and you can feel it around you. You can see it on the faces of people that have done it, 10 or 15 or 50 years in a row, and you can see it on the faces of people who are seeing it for the first time. springtime in New Orleans is.
And you go
is
home
nothing
and
like
you pack up all your stuff and you move here, and then suddenly it's July.
Well,
Instant regret.
I knew that the other, that foot would drop at some point, but no, for me, I mean, it was like, yeah, what I'm trying to do musically and the person I'm trying to become personally, I just had this inkling that it could happen if I came here.
Is it happening?
That me and yes. I mean, I met my wife in the airport here. Wow. I since bought a house. I got some real estate questions for you.
Nice. Lay it on me.
Yeah. What do you say? You met your wife in the airport. She was working at the airport?
No,
Checking you
she
in,
was.
or?
We were both. It was that same trip. We were both leaving Jazz Fest. She was going home to Texas, and I was going home to Portland, Oregon at the time. And we met, on a Monday morning in the New Orleans airport because the flight was delayed, and we both had to go to Houston before we could go our separate ways.
Which airline were you on?
It had to be United or American, I think.
You think you'd remember this, don't you? Didn't you keep the ticket?
We sat down and talked, and we had one of those conversations where it's just like already wide open from the beginning of the conversation, both because
kind of like this one.
Yeah, yeah, just more romantic.
Okay,
but
what were you talking about?
I mean, just our experiences that weekend. What we kind of had seen. I mean,
was she here by herself?
She was here with a group of friends, but at that point, I think, had driven back to...
And what about you? Were you here by yourself?
I was here with a group of friends who were all on different flights.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were both single?
Both single. We sat down and talked. I learned that she owned a health food store, and she learned because of the fact that I had a guitar, and actually because I was really bored and waiting around and had a sort of sympathetic Jazz Fest audience, if you will, in the terminal.
Playing
I played and to like rounds of applause, which got me stoked because here I am in the city that's got all this great music. I tell you what,
if you want to pick up women at the airport, that would be the way to do it.
I don't
be
know.
A good-looking young guy with long hair and a guitar.
Well, maybe I was that guy, but now if I saw it in the airport, I'd be like, oh, this guy's trying way too hard.
But it totally worked.
We just struck up a conversation. It really wasn't romantic to begin with, but she ended up writing me a note at the end of the flight. We didn't get to sit together, and she passed it off to me.
So you're on the same flight, on the flight to Houston.
Right, and then we went our separate ways.
What did the note say?
Just, I think you should pursue all the things, all the aspirations you just told me about kind of thing,
Yes.
Follow your heart kind of thing.
And where did she live with her health food store there?
A little town called Boerne, Texas, outside of San Antonio.
Wow, that's brave to have a health food store in a little town in Texas.
Texas is actually a big health food state.
It is
huge.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Blue
I thought
Bonnet,
Austin was probably, but
yeah, I mean that whole area.
So what happened? Then what happened?
Okay, well then 8 months later, and this is interesting. 8 months later, I lived with my roommate in his house in Portland, and it was 2008. It was the end of the summer. The housing crisis was in the middle of boom, imploding, and my roommate's house was getting foreclosed on. I was kind of staring down like this sort of not dead end, but a meager dark street that I was headed down, just because I didn't feel like my career was really headed on any kind of a trajectory. And I talked to some people, and they were kind of like, well, what about that idea you had about moving to New Orleans? I was like, you're right. I'm going to move to New Orleans. And so I packed it up. I planned a little tour, and I was down here January of 2009, and I was reflecting on that last night because I was here just a couple days before Obama was inaugurated.
Oh, wow.
That is when I got here. And last night when he gave the State of the Union, all of a sudden I started thinking about the whole, just the 7 years for me and the country and the city and all that.
Well, so you've been here for 7 years. And
Yep,
that's meant to be, Myesha, is 7 years some sort of mystical turning point?
7 is my favorite number.
It is.
7 is my favorite number.
Okay. Why is that?
It has a lot of, for lack of a better word, luck, but not luck. Luck is not the word I want to say. Just a lot of meaning around it.
Hold on, I got to run and buy a Powerball ticket real quick.
7777777. I'm just going to advise you of that.
Did you pick on 7 for some reason, or did it find you?
I think it found me. And you know what? I still haven't discovered why. It's so funny you're asking me this, because on my vision board, I have 777 written down the right side of it, and I have yet to look it up or figure out why I did that. I just did it.
What is a vision board exactly?
A vision board? Oh my gosh!
Look, you're looking at me like I must be out of my mind.
A vision
Never
board
heard of a vision
is.
board?
You never heard of a vision board?
I have never
Okay.
heard of Garrett. Have you ever
You
heard
know-
of a vision?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Definitely.
Colin, please say you
I
haven't.
have not.
Thank God. Okay, all right. So it's 50-50.
A vision board is a cardboard or whatever. We do it on canvas because we do it at my studio. But it's a canvas or board that you write down your goals and dreams for whatever span of time, a year, 5 years. And I did one last year, and everything that was on my vision board in January of 2015 has manifested here. Now I'm sitting, except one thing. One thing did not come, but everything else came.
How many things are on it?
Oh, God. like
Like more than 10, 12, 20, 100?
I would
How many?
say about 5 specific things and about 10 just inspirational, motivational.
So up
things.
to like around 14 things have come true that you wanted to happen in the course of a year.
And some of
That's
them are
pretty
as
impressive.
simple as like peace, right? Peace of mind. You know,
Right.
I've always been very big, very thick as a child too, and just health, you know. And so I got a really, really clean bill of health recently.
Okay.
I wanted to eat more raw food, and
Well, that's
that
not
came,
difficult. You just don't cook it.
right? But hey, you know,
How
I'm
hard
from New
could
Orleans.
I could put that on my vision
do
board.
you
I
want-
could-
do you
I could
want raw
achieve
gumbo?
that.
Do you?
Raw gumbo.
I don't want raw gumbo.
I wouldn't think
Sounds
so.
crunchy.
You know, my parents already looking at me like.
So I
what?
omitted to say that you're an artist and you have a gallery
I
in
am.
New Orleans. Where is your
I do.
gallery?
So we just moved to 1228 Aretha Castle Haley.
Okay.
We were on Burgundy Street before that. and
Where's
Julia Street before that.
1228?
So 1228 is
Like-
a block from.
Is it
So-
the Ashe Cultural Center?
No, no, no,
end,
we're
or
on the
it's
other
down
end.
the other end,
Mhm.
the Lee Circle end?
Yeah, we're right.
Or whatever
by the
it's gonna be
interstate.
called.
The Mission is the first block.
Right.
We're in the second block.
Okay. So that's going to be a sort of a happening spot now. That
Yeah.
now
yes.
you've moved there. What used to be?
Yeah,
in
all
your-
because of me.
Yeah. That's it on your vision board, Aretha Castle Haley.
You know, it wasn't, but
Haha.
you know, peace of mind with the business was, and that's what I
Okay.
got.
So you have a business. It's an art gallery.
It's an
You ever
art
think-
gallery studio.
It's a thing where you can go in there and it's called. There's something where people can go in there and paint.
Yeah, we call it painting. Well, we call it passion to paint.
Passion
Around
to
the city,
paint.
it's called Paint and Sip. The big company is Painting with a Twist and all these other things. But we call
Painting-
it passion to paint.
Passion to paint. And paint and sip is something to do with painting
That's
and
the
drinking.
industry. Yeah, painting and drinking.
But this is your business or it's
This
a
is my
franchise?
business.
You've made this up.
I didn't, you know what? There was a company before me, but this is my business. I've been doing it for the past 6 years now. We've been doing the Paint and Sip. At first, it was just a gallery on Julia, and then I did Paint and Sip for the past 5 years.
Where did you get the idea from? From someone else? Is it
Well, there were other
Rest-
companies around the country doing
Right.
it, and it wasn't really popular at the time.
really?
And so I went and did one, and I was like, I love it, and I'm a professional artist. So I started my own. So there was an opportunity to franchise there, but you know, I ain't about to shell out no 50 grand for me. You know?
Why bother if you just can buy some
Yeah.
canvases and what's the main company called? The biggest
The biggest one I know of is Painting with a Twist. It's like a national.
Painting with a Twist. That's here too, isn't it?
They,
Yeah.
they have one here.
And that's the same.
I know quite a few though because I follow what's going on
Right.
in the industry. So.
How do you follow it? Do you have a Google alert? No.
No, I just Google every now and again. I want to know what the competition. Who is the competition?
We
with
had a
the-
conversation about Google alert last week. Do you guys know about that?
What about
I
it?
do.
Do you have it on your name or something, Colin? What do you?
I do. I'll confess I do.
Yeah. So tell Myesha what it is because it's
A
a
Google
good.
alert?
What can I tell? I gotta say
Yeah.
one. Okay,
What's
so
a Google
you set a
alert?
Google alert for a word or phrase or a name that you want to know basically when it pops up on the internet, right? So I have my name on there because I want to know if I got a write up or if it's been
Oh, that's
my
dope.
record's been written about or whatever.
That's
Incidentally, there's a killer college basketball player who for a lot of years was in high school for 4 years. And he was really good at the high school level up in Michigan. And I would get all these Google alerts for such and such hits the game-winning three. And finally, one day on Facebook, I just had to put, I got to give this kid a shout-out. This dude, Colin Lake, has been killing it up in Michigan at AAA basketball.
Colin Lake for 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, at least it was a good thing, not some sort of
it was-
horrible person.
I know. I'm not
defrauding people or
Just keep
whatever.
it that
yeah.
way.
So you
And
can do that,
Colin Lake-
Myesha. You can get a Google
I
alert
could,
every time.
but there's another Myesha Francis right here in New Orleans.
No way.
I promise you, there's another Myesha.
Do you know
Francis.
her?
I have not met her. I've met her family, but I've never met her.
Put it on your vision board.
All right.
Well, yeah, that would be a good thing.
I
Have you,
should,
Have
but
you?
Myesha- meet
Are you
Myesha
friends with
Francis.
her on Facebook or anything?
You know what? That's a good idea. I have
Let's
never
do it right
friended
now.
her. Let's
Let's
do it. Let me see
Facebook
if
her
I
like
can
the other
find
Myesha Francis. Would you like to hear a Colin Leck song?
Yes.
Colin,
I
you
like
want
a
to play
Myesha
us?
Francis.
You want to hear one by
Something?
the basketball player or by me?
Do you have one by the
Whoa,
basketball player?
Do you have a duo?
That would be a great idea.
It's all
to do
jock
something
rock. It's all it's the Hey song.
What is jock rock? What?
Dun 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 dun. That's jock rock.
Yeah, okay.
So this is a beautiful
All right,
guitar. This is
Myesha
like a
Francis.
small guitar.
This one is
They call this a parlor-sized guitar.
Parlor.
So
So tell us something about what you're up to.
well, since I just told the story of meeting my wife, I'll write a song I wrote just days after getting married. How about that?
This is you wrote the song days after getting married. Where were you on your honeymoon?
We were on the pre-honeymoon. we were on a balcony in Destin, Florida. We went to St. Lucia for our honeymoon, which is incredible. The Caribbean, man.
That is better than Destin, I'll give you that.
But I'll tell you, when you're just looking at the Gulf from those balconies, it's like, it's just the infinite. Beyond. You can really tune out.
The Gulf of Mexico and Destin is beautiful as long as you're looking in that
as long as
direction.
you're looking in that direction. If you look
If you
the other
turn
direction,
around and look
oh
back,
my God.
it's not so good.
Exactly.
So what's the
no
name of the
offense to the
song?
good folks from Destin. This one's called One Thing That's For Sure. Yeah, so I'll do it like this. So I'm going to hit it with the vocals pretty hard at some point through the tune. Okay. In a world full of wonder with eyes open wide, we came dancing into each other's view. And I float so high, I've journeyed far and wide, and still every road leads me back to you. I got a motor that runs on love, and it's your love, baby, that I'm thinking of. Or when I tell you that it's time to fill up. Well, you took your time, but you made your mind, as I knew you surely would. And now I always get to drink from your cup, and that's the one thing that's for sure. Oh, baby, it's the one thing that's for sure. Oh, and I know your love is pure. Yeah, well, I know your love. Well, I know your love is one thing that's for sure. It's hard to say, but in a day I think we all grew up, but not a our own way. Won't you take a look at what love has done? We tore the roof off of all the years and all our fears and all the pain, and now we're feeling like we never had none. And now it's you for me and me for you, arm in arm as we hold on tight. Can't you feel our hearts as they open wide? By the river peace, at an altar we made to the gods of love. Ain't they gonna hear us as we testify? Yeah. And that's the one thing that's for sure. Mama, it's the one thing that's for sure. Oh, and I know your love is pure. Yeah, well, I know your love, and I know your love, baby, is one thing that's for sure. Ooh, the more we strive, the more we come alive, and you can't keep a good love down. It only takes a lifetime to learn, and it's easy if you know how. It ain't the way we walk, but the way we talk about ourselves and a fellow man that paints a picture in which we must all live. The words are strong, so as you carry on, go on and sing this song all day long. And make love be what you have to give.
And if in your sights, try as you might, it's a hard sometimes to see the line. When I know that you call out my name, 'cause in a world so cold, so cruel to the young and old, don't you know our love is a burning flame? Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's the one thing that's for sure. Ooh, it's the one thing that's for sure. Oh, when I know your love is pure, yeah, when I know your love, when I know your love, baby, it's the one thing that's for sure.
Nice.
Yes. One thing that's for sure, Colin Lake. That is gorgeous. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wow, that is beautiful. What did you think, Garrett?
It was awesome. Colin Lake for the win.
For the win. Myesha.
I was not expecting that. Oh.
Isn't that something else?
That was
How
so
far away are you from Colin? Like 2-3 feet?
Yes.
Isn't that crazy when someone can just sit at a table like this and here having a conversation with you and you, like a normal person, and then pick up the guitar and do that it's extraordinary. What's it like sitting there doing that so close to people?
Well, at first I'm thinking about my head. Excuse me. At first I'm thinking about my headphones and like, what can I hear? Am I hearing everything right? Am I being too loud? Am I being too soft? And then after a while, it's like, okay, where am I in the words? And then it's like, okay, I wonder if they can hear this over there. it's just.
So are you thinking all that stuff while you're playing and singing?
It's like there's two things going across
Right.
my mind at once. There's one that's just doing its thing, singing the lyrics, playing the song, and there's another that's observing that and also observing other things around.
Wow.
But you want to quiet that one as much as you can in order to just let the other one happen, you know.
That almost made me cry. That is such an artist. That is such
That's the real deal.
Oh, that's the real deal. That's the real deal. Because there is one line that's totally zoned out and it's doing its thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're still in this plane, so you're thinking, other things.
Well, being an artist, like being able to do that is an incredibly special gift. Do you have that when you're painting?
I do. That's why I was like, yep, I feel that. I do.
Right.
I do. So I'll be painting and I zone out. The phone is ringing. I'm aware of the phone ringing. And quickly I'm thinking, oh, who is it? Mama probably call her back. All right, whatever. But I'm still in that zone. And I'm also thinking.
Funny that you'd think it would be your mother.
Oh, it's always my mom.
She calls you a lot? Mm-hmm. Really? Why is that? She doesn't have a life of her own?
He's going to get me in trouble for all
Not
of
really.
it.
But Garrett, you must do that because you're dealing with people all day.
Sure.
So
yeah.
you must have a part of you too that deals with people on some level, but on the other level is thinking about something else.
Yeah. No, I make an enormous amount of phone calls throughout the day. Constantly multitasking, thinking about one thing onto the next, and then someone will pick up, and it's like my brain just kind of goes into this auto response of what I need to say, and whether I'm making a new contact or talking to an agent that I've been in contact with yet. I mean, there's a duality to everything, Once you get comfortable or mastery level at something, it kind of does it, like Colin said, kind of takes over on an automatic level, and then sometimes you realize, like, wow, I've been talking for like 30 seconds, and I don't know what I've said, but I know I'm good because I've just done it so many times.
Right.
And are you saying the same thing over and over, talking about houses? Do you have a set?
Well, it depends. It's like if I'm calling like new prospects or new leads, I have like an opening statement, basically.
What is it?
Hey, this is Garrett from NewOrleansAreaHomeSearch.com. Noticed you joined our website. I was calling to see if you were able to find the types of properties you were looking for, or to see if something I could help you find. And then
I say, oh, hang on a minute, I just logged onto your website. You can see what I'm doing.
I can see everything you're doing.
Are you serious? You're like stalking me, or where's my information going?
Stalking may not be the right word.
That's strong.
I'm trying to help from a distance.
Yeah. Are people surprised to know that you've been?
Well, typically
Or do they want you to call?
That I call or that I know
what
they've been doing?
Both.
Which one?
Do they want you to call them? Or are they then surprised?
Well, I mean, I would say largely like when people are typically freaked out by like cold calling or calling strangers, like very uncomfortable. But for the most part, people are pretty laid back. I mean, I haven't ever really been like chewed out or told to bug off or.
No, but people. I mean, I know this happened to me because I was looking at a house And then
Why didn't you call me?
And the realtor called me, and he told me, and then I met him,
Uh-huh.
and then I went, and he said, "Would you like to take a look at that other place you were looking at?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "What
The
other
internet
place?"
is a wonderful thing.
And I said, "How did you know that?" He said, "I know you've looked at like 5 places actually."
Your history,
Yeah.
your browsing history.
I was pretty surprised.
There's tracking on. I have it on mine.
Yeah.
You have it on your website?
Yeah.
So if I go to your website, you can, but you can't tell it's me though.
No, I can. If you enter
I have
the
to
correct
register.
if you enter the correct information, like
Mm-hmm.
there's platforms that I can see your Facebook or any other social media. and
Yep.
I
Yeah,
can
the
see
company pulls it all
when
in.
you logged in last, which houses you looked at,
Which
how many
pages
times
you looked at,
your
So
how
when
long you were on that page.
So if you make that call to him and he BS's you, you're just like, yeah.
Oh, I know you're lying. Yeah, like,
But you don't say that.
oh, of course not.
You
But
say,
Are you
Oh,
sure?
okay,
Huh? Yeah.
Does that happen a lot? People tell you, "I'm not interested in that," and they've been looked at that house 10 times.
10. Well, I mean, there's people that looked at like 1,000 houses in 4 days, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not really looking." It's like, oh, that's all you're doing is looking.
as a matter of fact,
You,
look 5
you haven't
times.
logged out since you've logged in.
Wow.
That's cool.
And,
So
and what's the?
Do you find people being people are just less honest, or you lose faith in people's
That's
honesty
interesting
based
question.
on
yeah.
that?
So there's a term called buyers or liars.
Oh
So
wow!
oftentimes they don't tell the truth until you build a relationship with them, and then it's like, oh, okay. Because I mean, I understand. I'm a guy from the internet calling you,
Sure.
and it's like, what? No, I don't want to buy a house from you. I don't even know you. But then there's certain lines of communication and
What's the line that gets you out from? I'm on the guy from the internet to let me pick you up or let me meet you at such and such a place. What's the?
Well, I mean,
It's a
it's kind
tipping
of
point.
There has to be like some kind of connection where you have to be somewhat interested in buying real estate, right? Like if you're just casually browsing, if you were here for Jazz Fest, kind of got taken back by all the real estate and the architecture and the culture here. Some people, well, hey, I was just looking. I was in here for Jazz Fest. I'm not really looking to buy anything. So typically, they kind of fade off. Like they won't log
Right.
back in. But if Colin joins the site and he's on Monday and he's on Tuesday and he's looking at the same house 11 times,
Right.
and he's kind of got a pattern. Notice you've been looking at this house. Do you have any questions? Kind of get you any other additional information on this, and then we kind of form a relationship, and then I'll send him similar things. If he's interested in a house on Chapatoulas that's a 3-bed, 2-bath, I won't really ask him if I can send him stuff. I'll just kind of put together an email and send him that, and then send him a message and say, hey, I sent you some stuff that's similar to the one that you liked on
I
Chapatoulas.
like that. So you vet your customers before you call them.
Pretty much. Like I get a whole lot of information because of the internet and the systems that we use before you even pick up. So
And the systems that you use, are they proprietary to your company, or is this a sort of a nationwide?
no, it's I don't want to give out my secret, but it's
Okay.
not proprietary to us. Anybody can join.
You can buy this
Yeah.
software that real. Is that your phone?
Yes.
Is that a prospect?
It is actually. It's one of my clients.
Oh, what are they looking for?
She's about to put in an offer on a house in the Lower Garden District.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay, very
We're
exciting.
not taking that call. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, no. All right, we'll let you off with that one.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So how many
Some of
times?
that LGD money.
Yeah,
How many
exactly.
times do you sell a house? How many times would an average realtor sell a house these days? Because they look like they come and go so quickly now.
Yeah, there's a lot of realtors. It's kind of it's a sales position, 1099, or nothing's really promised. You got to go out and earn
Right.
everything. There's, it's stable, but it's not consistent. So you have to be able to be good enough to make that work for you. I think the average real estate agent sells like 8 houses their first year, which isn't terrible. It's not great. It's you're keeping the lights on.
How
but-
many houses would you? I mean, it's sort of a weird question because some houses are worth millions and others
Right.
are not.
So it's like it's an average transaction, 8 transactions, but you could have all $8 million
Right.
sales or $100,000 sales.
So do we see your name around town? Are you one of these guys with your name on a?
I do some advertising.
Right. But I mean, on the streets, on those signs, whatever they're called, for sale. Where
Sure.
it has.
Yeah.
Is there a name for that? Is there an insider technical name for that sign outside someone's house?
Just a yard sign.
Yeah, it's sign.
Nothing
Okay,
crazy.
Not really that
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah.
Okay.
Nothing exciting. Yeah.
So is your name? What's your company's name?
Elite Southern Realty.
Elite Southern. And do you own that, or you're a realtor?
No,
in that?
I'm the office manager. I run the office, but not the owner. No.
So but you're a realtor as well. So you run the office meetings. That's not a desk job though. That's a.
No, so we're a small boutique company, so we don't have a 1,000 agents like the other bigger brands
Right.
and stuff. We keep it small, but we keep quality agents in. So it allows me to be a real estate agent and a manager at the same time because there's only a couple people that I need to keep up with. But
What are you managing exactly?
I help them with any questions. We have a couple new agents, so there's a ton of moving parts in real estate. So and every deal is different from the last, but somewhat similar, but
Right.
always completely different. So
Are you managing people?
of course.
So you have to wrangle human beings. That's
Yeah. Well, they kind of come to me because if they want to get paid, they know that they need to keep the deal together. So I'm kind of like the special man, you know?
When we closed on our house, we're all up in this big kind of, around a big conference table or whatever with the title company, some lawyers from the title company, somebody from the bank, and the two agents, and there was no buyer or seller because we bought it from the bank. But anyway, and my wife and I, and as soon as those checks came out, like everything got finished up. As soon as those checks came out, both agents gone. And one of them's one of my best friends, and I was like, "Damn, dude!"
wow. Do you look after clients after you've sold them a house? Do you
Yeah.
send them
Actually, some of my previous clients are now my friends, so it's kind of nice. I get keys to some of their houses, get to hang out when they're
Right.
when they're not there, and a couple of places near the Mardi Gras parade. So it's nice. Yeah.
You got extra keys on
Yeah.
your
Yeah, that sort of sentence sort of went by very quickly. I get keys to their houses.
Yeah. Well, we're friends.
Right.
We
I've got a lot of friends. I don't have many people with keys to my house. Do you?
Did they sell you the house though?
No.
See,
You had the key
difference.
already.
There's the
You
difference.
have the
right.
key in that special
Right.
box
That's
outside.
right.
Myesha, where do you live around here?
I live in Gentilly.
In Gentilly, okay.
Yeah.
Are you looking to buy a house or do you already own
I
it?
am.
You am?
I was looking
that
in
you
Pontchartrain
calling
Park.
Looking at Pontchartrain Park?
I am.
Okay, Garrett, you got anything in Pontchartrain Park? What are you looking for? A 2-bedroom? With a room for a studio? 3-bedroom?
That would be good. Me, a closet, and a studio. Yeah. that
Okay,
works.
so what's that? 2 or 3-bedroom in Pontchartrain Park?
2-bedroom minimum. I can set you up. I just need your email.
I kind of do these about the business.
How
Let's
mu-
get the business.
How much are you thinking of spending, Myesha?
Oh gosh.
A lot?
No. I'm an artist.
Right. Do you think it's a good idea to
There
buy
are
it?
actually houses. Wendell Pierce, the actor, the actor, he have some houses in Pontchartrain Park. They're $165,000.
He's selling them?
He is, but you have to qualify. You have to be in like a certain range in order to buy.
Wendell
them,
Pierce
so.
is that wealthy that he's got a bunch of houses to sell?
There are 15 right now. He's trying to sell.
15 ain't bad.
He bought up. He bought up some property in
That's an
Gentilly.
inventory.
In Gentilly, what is Pontchartrain Park?
Right.
He bought up a lot of property after.
Well, I guess it was
Katrina
cheap
and-
because they was all wrecked as hell.
Yeah, some of them
So
were.
He's
done.
fixed them all up. I guess
And
he's got
he's
some sort of business
New
going.
builds. They're all new builds.
wow.
And he put solar panels
165.
and
165.
yeah, and they're
That's
You
extraordinarily
gave it
cheap.
the
isn't
Brad
it?
Pitt
Yeah,
treatment over
pretty
there.
Huh?
good.
The Brad Pitt treatment.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah. Because the
Similar.
city also there's a soft second or something. You probably know about
Yeah,
this.
soft second
Soft
mortgage program.
second.
Yeah. So people are getting in at 145 and they're pretty.
Well, what are you waiting for?
I know, right?
Do you need to put much down?
No,
then?
I need $145,000 from you. I need.
But how much cash do you need to spend to buy a $145,000 house, Garrett?
20% to avoid the insurance PMI. Exactly.
Yeah. No,
What's
it's
that?
different programs require different amounts to put down, but typically
What's the least you could get away with?
3.5.
3.5% of 165 is. Come on, Myesha. Haven't you
Oh,
figured
okay. 10% is 16.
Somewhere around
Five,
$6,000-$7,000.
That's it.
Yep,
So
yep,
if you could
yep.
get together $6,000 or $7,000,
I could do it tomorrow.
okay. And what does it cost to do a passion paint class?
It's $35 per person. But
It's
I
gonna
wanted
take
to
quite
say
a few
that that's
people.
the one thing on my vision board that I do not have a house. That's the one.
You didn't put it on the vision board.
I did.
It's on mine,
That's-
so
The house
I got you covered. Yeah.
to get Myesha a house.
Yep.
Okay, so you did have a house on your vision board, or you don't
I
have it?
do. It's
You
still
do.
there.
It's still there.
That's
but it
the
did-
one thing.
That's the one thing that didn't happen. Okay,
got you.
we're in.
That's the
This
one
could be the best thing you ever did doing this show
About to
today.
wrap this vision board thing up.
It's
See?
funny
There we go.
how things happen, Myesha, because you were supposed to do the show like months ago,
Yep.
and you didn't show up.
Yep.
You got stuck in Mississippi.
I got stuck in
I
Mississippi
called
because
you
of
and
the
said,
rain.
"Are
I
you
was
co-"
so
Yeah,
excited.
You got stuck in Mississippi because of the rain. Why is that?
Why did it rain?
No, right.
Are we
You got
getting
out
back
to
into
that.
the
You got out
spirit?
to that first, actually. Then you could explain why can't you drive in the rain? What happened?
You know what? I knew I needed tires, and so I was like, well, let me.
You
just
do
be
need tires.
safe. I changed them now.
Oh, you need new tires. You mean.
Yeah,
I
I
thought you had
needed
no
new
tires. I
tires.
thought so maybe someone stole the tires off your
No,
truck. Okay, so that was it. So you had bad tires. So you
I did.
Okay, all right. Well, isn't it weird that you ended up doing the show today, and then
And
you met
there's
Garrett,
my
and Garrett
realtor.
do you think that's written in the stars, as it were?
Somewhere on that vision board, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What?
This is Graham, our producer. This is.
I mean, and honestly, I waited until 2015 because we wanted to file with. I waited until 2016 because we wanted to file for 2015 taxes. With 2015 taxes, that's why I waited. That's
Right.
the only reason why I waited.
For the soft-cycle mortgage program? Yeah.
And so I was thinking, because the business, on and on and on. But I was thinking I would do it before, I would get started again before the end of January.
There you go.
Oh, there it is.
We're right
How
here, right in the middle.
Okay. This is going to work out. Okay, talking to business, I have to tell you, Colin, you want to play something in the background while I read these?
Sure.
Messages from our
I'm just kind
sponsors?
of getting tuned up here. Hold
Okay.
on. That's not bad.
Okay, you can just, play anything.
You
in
want
the
something
background.
pretty or something dirty?
Ah, you can.
Pretty dirty.
Oh, good idea, Garrett. Okay, yeah.
Good idea.
Okay. So this is what I have to tell you about the sponsors of our show. Thank you very much to Petite Pet Care, who are one of the people who are bringing us our show today. If you're going out of town or you have a crazy schedule, the folks at Petite Pet Care will take care of your pet, in his or her own home, which would be your home that you own. Well, all you have to do is call Elite Southern Realty at 1-504
615-7599. That's my direct cell.
or find us online at southernrealty.com.
Incorrect. EliteSouthernRealty.com.
Okay, well, I was just winging that one. But seriously, you can go to petitepetcare.com for all the information you need about having your pet taken care of in his or her own home. And strangely enough, I have a poop bag for my dog right in my pocket. Isn't that
I
weird?
carry one sometimes too.
You do? What sort of dog have you got?
Does
We
it
have a
have-
Boston Terrier.
Does it have
Boston Terrier.
poop in it?
Yes, it has the actual poop right in it. I don't know why.
It
I
really
put
does.
I don't
It
know
really
why I
does.
put it back in my pocket. But, I collect dog. Do you collect dog poop?
What?
Is it just me?
What happened?
I stopped.
Myesha, what sort of poop do you collect?
I don't collect any.
Oh, you can have my dog poop here.
No.
It's an empty. I don't know what is that. It's somewhere else's bag. Anyway, thanks also to Basic Swim and Gym, where you can get a full range of fashion swimsuits, workout and yoga clothes with style. Basic Swim and Gym is on Magazine Street near Jefferson Avenue, which is now currently completely non-navigable. Have you been down there in the last couple of days? They've just closed off the whole thing. Garrett, do you sell uptown or drive around uptown much?
Of course. Yeah, I sell all to G&O area and Metro.
Right. Well, that whole area on Magazine Street where Basic Swim and Gym is between like Nashville and Jefferson is
Oh,
just
it's all torn up.
But that's perfect because I didn't feel like they had torn up enough streets.
Yeah,
around at this point yet.
Yeah.
right.
Get a couple more in there.
And I saw a good T-shirt that the guys at Dirty Coast have come up with a T-shirt. Have you seen that T-shirt?
No.
It says something like "Uptown is closed for the next 4 years," and it's got all these graphics of people doing road works. It's the usual, Dirty Coast. That's really funny.
That's great. It's perfect.
It's good. Thank you, too, to Hangover Destroyer, the only all-natural product medically proven to prevent or cure a hangover. If you go to the Hangover Destroyer website, it's hdestroyer.com, and write Happy Hour on the coupon code. You'll get 30% off your first order of Hangover Destroyer, and you, too, can seize the dawn. That works for tourists and locals, by the way, Hangover Destroyer. It's an equal opportunity hangover cure. It's actually, apparently it works.
So does pot.
Pot cure, sorry? Pot,
You said there's no FCC,
pot,
right?
no, but it's still illegal
Yes.
in this state. Hey, can pot cure a hangover? I've never noticed that.
Cures
You
the
should try it.
headache.
Really? Is that right? I didn't even know that. Really? You have to.
I mean, Do I have to explain this to you right now?
Yeah, no idea. I was just always
Friggin' noob.
I've never smoked pot. Does it really cure?
She's like,
It's funny because we never talk about pot on the show.
It just treats the symptom. It just treats the symptom. The headache, primarily. The one that makes you want to jump off of a high balcony.
This horrible feeling. Yeah, right. Garrett, do you smoke a lot of pot in the real estate biz?
No comment.
Okay. Myesha, what about your mom? Did she smoke pot with you when you
Never, ever.
Never. Your mom's not a pot smoker?
No.
What does she do? Acid?
She goes to church every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh my gosh!
Does she go to
church?
Does she drive all the way uptown from the?
She
from
does.
The east still?
She still goes to church uptown on General Taylor.
Isn't there a church in the east that's? I mean, what happened there? How did she get?
Well, we live in Gentilly. I live with her in Gentilly.
Oh, she lives in Gentilly too. Okay, so she's going to move to Pontchartrain Park with you after Garrett hooks you up, or she's staying?
3-bedroom now.
No, we're ditching Mom. We're leaving her in Gentilly. Is it just you and Mom? Is Mom single?
No, my parents have been married for 46 years.
Wow. Oh my God! So Mom and Dad are living.
Golf clap for them. That's
Yes,
right.
really.
My parents, 46 years.
46
My older sister, I'm 36. Oh, 42.
Okay, well that's close enough.
Yeah. So.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
And
but
I've never known my mother to do anything.
in the way of,
I've seen her take a shot of Patron. You gonna edit that for me? Edit it for me. She's like,
well, that'll cost you $15
I'll pay
to
it.
get
I'll
that
pay
out.
it.
Okay,
I
well,
will.
did I say 15? How much should I have charged for that, Garrett?
At least 35.
no, see, I thought you were my friend.
Well, we'll deduct the $35 from the cost of the house. Well,
Okay.
Garrett can cover that for you. It's
Deal.
part of the deal.
Deal.
Hey, Colin, listen, are you going to play another song for us? So anyway, before you do play another song, the song that you played before, One Thing That's For Sure,
Yeah.
that's the name of your new album.
That's right.
And is that out now where we can...
It is,
we can,
yeah.
We can steal that right off Spotify? No? You got a gun in there or something? No. Oh, you have an album.
I should have a gun.
I
for
thought that was
Spotify
that
comments.
expression.
No. You
Here
could
it is.
get it on Spotify.
Oh, it's nice.
You can buy it from me at a show, or you can buy it
Yeah.
at Louisiana Music Factory if you're here in New Orleans, or you can get it on Amazon or iTunes or any of those. You can get it on vinyl too.
Oh, it's vinyl. Nice.
On colinlake.com.
Okay, but if I went to a gig, I would... Where can I see you in New Orleans, by the way?
Play at DBA a lot. We play all over the place. You
Right.
know, we'll be at some.
You and the band?
After it's announced, we'll be at some festivals this spring.
Ooh.
You know,
Some festivals at the
local festivals.
at the racetrack, maybe in the midst. That will
Just
be
in
very
the city.
exciting. Yeah.
You know, there'll be.
Wow.
You know, we're around and we're
so
going
do
nationwide.
Do certain people know who's playing at Jazz Fest already, and we don't know yet?
Of course.
Contract.
Garrett, do you know what's going on?
I don't
Do you have
know
an inside
personally
track
who's going to
with
play,
Jazz
but
Fest?
there's got to be.
I didn't
right?
realize that was already all sealed, but you were sort of sworn
Well,
to secrecy.
I think they're going to. I think Jazz Fest will make their lineup announcement this month sometime, January. They usually do it mid-January.
Yeah, right. So I wonder who the
a lot of the summer festivals they start announcing around this time, or
Right.
they get their headliners announced.
So when you sign up, do you know who the headliner at Jazz Fest is going to be? Do you have any inside dope on that?
No, and I can't. I mean,
Even if you did, you wouldn't tell me. But do people know that yet?
I mean,
Other than who worked for Jazz Fest? I mean, is there a music
Paul
inside?
Simon came and played a benefit show, and he outed the fact that he'll be here. So he's the only one. He's the only big headliner that has been totally leaked. But since he leaked it, I don't think anyone's too upset about it.
Right. But that's funny that he did that.
Well, I think he was just excited, and you know, it was a big gig. It was the one that Alan Toussaint was supposed to be at, you know, and from what I heard, Paul was going to be playing solo. But then when Alan passed, he said, I'm going to bring my band down too, and I'm going to pay their way and everything, and bring the band, you know. And he brought all the, you know, some of those guys that were on Graceland, Ray Feary, the guitar player. I forget the bass player's name, but he's a monster. I mean, those cats, you know, he's got a killer band.
Who inspired you when you started out? Was Paul Simon one of them?
You know, now looking back, I think if you asked me that 5 years ago, I probably would have said no. But looking back, yeah, Graceland is definitely a big one for me. I mean, just a lot of, you know, rootsy, bluesy kind of people. I mean, there's a guy from the Northwest named Kelly Joe Phelps who was a lap slide guitar player I was really into for a long time. And then just anything with that kind of aliveness, that kind of, raw authenticity. I love singers that push their
Right.
voice, Aretha, people like that.
You play that instrument, is that lap steel, that the guitar
Yeah.
that lies on your lap?
That's right, yeah.
So it's electric. It's a great sound that
Thank you. Yeah.
drives the whole band when you play it. It's really awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I love. That's what I first fell in love with. In fact, I was competent on the lap steel before I was really competent on the guitar.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a
I
funny
just-
thing to say. Although I would think most people would go the other way.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. Yeah.
Hey, so anyway, you're going to play something else off the
Yeah,
album.
so
The
I'll play
album is
some off the
called
album.
One Thing That's For Sure. The artist is Colin Lake, and you can definitely steal it off Spotify, but you could also go buy it.
That's true. You could buy it.
That would be nice. That would be a nice thing. How much is it? $10 or something?
Or 15.
Or 15? Okay.
2 for 25,
Okay.
It's 2016 now. Okay, let's see here.
Can we see you over Mardi Gras somewhere?
Let me see. Mardi Gras. Oh, well, Saturday the 23rd, I'll be a special guest with Chawa, which is a Mardi Gras Indian band. They're having their CD release party. Great band. Honey
Oh, wow.
Bannister
Cool.
is their front man, Indian. He's wonderful. And then I think Big Chief Monk Boudreaux is going to be there as well.
All right.
And then I think Big Sam might be there. And then most of my stuff, otherwise, in the next couple months, is out of town.
Oh, really?
But it's all on the
We
website.
can find you. If you're listening to this from out of town, go to colinlake.com.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're looking... Okay.
You want to hear something pretty or something bluesy or?
What do you feel like playing?
I like it all. I want to do something pretty.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes. Very cool.
This one's called Just Begun. When the dark clouds have lifted and I wait to see the morning sun, I watch as you lie sleeping, and I know that you're the only one who can open up my heart and set it beating on like a drum. Who can make me feel so free and help me learn to love like you have done? Make me feel so free and help me learn to love like you have done. We could walk so many miles without ever really knowing where we are. But when we see a little light, we realize we've been walking in the dark. You see, all of our dreams used to shimmer in the night just like stars. But now that warm and bright and in need, they don't seem so very far. On the far away. Ooh, yeah, far away. Ooh, yeah, far away. And our spirits walk beside us as our paths merge gently into one. And across the deepest valleys span long bridges where there once were none. To get to where we are, it's taken so many trips around the sun. But as I stand here with you, my heart tells me that it's only just begun. As I stand here with you, my heart tells me that it's just begun.
Oh, yes. Beautiful. Colin Lake off the album.
I'm swollen.
One thing that's for sure.
That's it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's beautiful.
Thank you.
What did you think, Garrett?
I thought it was amazing.
Isn't that
Man's
gorgeous?
got skills.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of people play the guitar sitting there and, in other shows. I've never seen anyone play quite like that.
Mm-hmm.
What is that sort of style? You're not playing chords and your fingers are sort of off the fretboard as much as they're on.
Well, mostly I play in open tuning, so when it comes to a tune like that, in that case, I was playing in the key that the guitar is actually tuned in, which is not always or generally the case, but in this case it was. So it gives me a lot of. First of all, it gives me this drone note, so that's one thing I can do. I can from there you can do.
So you're not playing strict chords.
Well, I play chord.
But it's in open tuning. Well, this is tuned like a regular guitar, or this is tuned.
No, it's tuned open. It's tuned to open D. There's a
So it's
capo
in
on
D.
it right
So
now.
can
That
you
song is
play a
in D.
chord?
Yeah, you can play. There's
So-
E with a 7 in it. There's A with a 7 in it. There's B with a 7 in it. I can play almost whatever chord you want.
And is it the
ones I
same
don't know.
chord? Is it the same chord that you learn on how to play the guitar in 10 days?
No.
It's
The
a whole
fingering is
different
different,
thing.
but
Yeah,
you're
that's what's going on.
playing the same chord. It's just a shape differently.
But you have
on
to
the
know
guitar.
what's going on. You got to
have
be an actual musician to do that.
You have to. You have to. It's just like any other instrument. You just got to learn where it is. And I just decided to go down the path of this is going to be my tuning.
Can
it
I ask
also
a
gives
question?
me.
Yes, you can.
Do you know about the love frequency? I think it's like 508, the frequency that love vibrates
504
on.
maybe.
No, but it's not 504. I would have
508,
remembered
what
that.
does that mean? Like kilohertz or something?
No,
a
I know.
frequency.
I've heard something about that. I know that there's. I'm gonna display a whole bunch of ignorance here about the technical side of things, but something about like we tune to 440 hertz or is it hertz? I'm not even sure. And that there's been some studies to say that it would be better to tune to other frequencies in terms of what would resonate with the other frequencies of the earth,
Correct.
so to speak.
Correct. Yes. I just read about that, but that dun, 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 it sounds like you're on the love frequency because I was listening to it.
Well, that song's definitely on the love frequency. I finished that one, and I had been like working on it. The first verses written, and then we had this kind of really mystical experience in Costa Rica a couple of years ago, and that's where the third verse came from.
What was the mystical experience? Did something happen?
It was a couple of days we spent in the jungle, staying in this on the Osa Peninsula, which is really about as far out in Costa Rica as you can get, and so it's pretty far out. Monkeys all around, there's wild cats around there, although you don't ever see them. We took a photo of my wife walking with the local guide, who is the guy who also caretakes the property we're staying on. And in that photo, there was a big, giant white orb, a big white, and this is just sort of one tangible, if you will, piece of the sort of experience that we were having, just feeling really, super connected to everything around us. And anyway, when we showed that picture to the guide, William is his name, he froze and didn't say anything to us until really the next day. And he said, I've seen that light in that same spot there twice before with my own eyes, but I always told myself that it was something else. And now seeing it in the photo, I had to, he said it all in Spanish and it was translated for me, but, I had to kind of reconcile with like, hey, okay, that is a real thing there. And regardless of what it is or might be, of course, it's easy to say, oh, it must have been the way the light was shining. It was a cloudy day and all this sort of thing. It was something else. And I mean, I get tingles just talking about it. I always do. It's one of those things. So, and it doesn't surprise me that it appeared right next to my wife in this little spot in the jungle. It just seemed natural in that context.
Did you see it before you took? I mean,
No,
did
no,
it
I
just
did
show
not
up in
see
the
it.
photo?
It
You
just-
didn't see it?
no, yeah.
It's only in the photo.
I took the photo because so they were walking ahead of me. I had reached down to get something out of my backpack. I thought, oh, I'll take the camera out. It was the first photo I took, I think. And the reason I took it is because they were there. There was this road they were on, and there was a series of potholes. And it just the way the potholes were kind of laid out looked cool to me, you know. And they had water in them because it had rained the day before. And I just thought, that's kind of a cool little foreground. So that's why I took the photo. And lo and behold, that was in there.
That sounds like an album cover.
So I took the song to her and I handed her a box of tissues and sang it. And she says, I was like, you're going to need this.
What is the name of the song?
That one's called Just Begun. That's
Just Begun,
That's the
right.
only real solo track on the album, and it's number 9 on the album.
Number 9. What do you make of that number, Myesha?
I'm all about love and falling in love. The love frequency, I think it's 508, but I'm all about that. And I'm sitting over here like, tell us some more, tell us the story. I am all about love. All about that. I like falling in love and, yeah.
Would you love to get the hell out of here about now?
No, I'm good.
Oh, well,
I'm good.
unfortunately, we have to.
We have to go.
Yeah.
It's time to go. You ain't
It's
got to
time
go
to
home,
leave.
but you got to get.
And Garrett, you stuck it out for the whole show. You
Made it.
You didn't
Just
think
for
you were
you.
going to be able to do it.
Got it.
He lost the
Thanks.
Lower Garden District sale over
Yeah, I
there.
hope nothing went wrong.
Y'all saw the phone call come through. There wasn't-
But you'll get it.
No
So when you
baloney.
get it,
Oh, yeah.
party over here.
I'm about to clean this up real quick.
And you're
Right
going
on.
you're going
I
to
like
sell
it.
Myesha house. You know, the interesting thing, we've never had this happen on the show before. Myesha's name is Myesha Francis, and your name is Garrett Frank.
Correct.
And Francis and Frank are, Frank is what is that? It's sort of a,
Like
What's the word?
background, heritage.
well, that's interesting. No, the word Frank and the word Francis are, if you're a guy and your name is Francis, then people
You might
call
go
you
by
Frank.
Frank, sure.
Oh, okay.
So what does that
Synonymous?
mean? Synonymous? I don't know whether that's the word.
Idea.
Something like that.
Well,
I have no
you're the wordsmith, Colin. You're going to.
I
What is
think
the
we
word?
might
It's a
be
contraction. Isn't Frank a contraction of Francis?
No, because a contraction
No.
has an apostrophe in it, doesn't it?
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I thought you would know this. So what is it? What is...
I think you might be looking
Frank
for order
is
in
to
chaos here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Should just give
let it
Let it
happen.
go. Just
let
give it
it-
up.
Millennials,
Okay.
we're like, duh.
So Garrett Frank has been here. Thank you for joining us, Garrett. You can
Thanks
find
for
out
having
more about Garrett by going to our website, it's neworleans.com, and finding the link, or just go right now to
Elite Southern Realtor.
EliteSouthernRealty.com. If you can't spell elite, it's ELITE. I'm right about that, right?
Got it.
Got it in one. Okay, thank you very much. Myesha Francis as well. We can find you have a link to your stuff on our website. It's neworleans.com too. But what's it called if you happen to be in the gym or you're on your bicycle?
I have 2 websites, mfrancisgallery.com, so that's
Right.
for the gallery. Then I have a personal website called whenthespiritspeaks.com.
Whenthespiritspeaks.com. Okay. I was lucky that, you're getting a text right now. Or is it a phone call?
That's a phone call.
Who is it from?
She can wait.
Okay, don't say who it is. Okay. All right, she's waiting. Colin Lake, thank you so much. This has been a real treat. This
Thank
show
you
today.
for having me.
That was some beautiful music.
I appreciate
The
it.
album is called...
One thing that's for sure. That's for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
One thing that's for sure.
Stop listening to Spotify.
You can find that. You can find that
Sorry.
on our website as well.
I can't shame the whole world. I mean, what are you going to do?
Best
And,
$10 I've ever spent.
I'm sorry that Andrew Duhon wasn't here as well.
He's a friend.
He's normally
Yeah.
here during for most shows. He's in Nashville tonight.
I went to school with him.
You went to school with Andrew?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Grammar school. He's a St. Catherine kid too.
Okay, so we'll have to have everybody back.
Yeah, we'd love
All right.
that.
Well, why don't we all come back? Good idea. Myesha, can you see the future?
I will come back anytime. This is fun.
All right, well, come on back.
I will.
This is our producer over here, Graham DeFonte. She's responsible for producing our show. Our associate producer and technical director is Chris Kehoe, who's sitting right behind me here. Christian Unruh, thank you so much for bringing us Colin Lake. Christian is our music director, and our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show, and you can sit around a table for about 60 minutes and stay relatively sober, drop us a line. Our address is on our website, it's neworleans.com. We can also check out many more happy hours you can listen to, as well as some other shows we make here at INO Broadcasting. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace. True to the Game with the fabulous Chris True. Midnight Menu +1 with Margot Moss and the man who ate New Orleans, Ray Canada. Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and Milo's Music Parlor with Kim Vu. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and It's Baton Rouge, LA. You can keep up with us on Facebook and on Twitter and a bunch of other time-sucking social media as well. And all of it, we're called It's New Orleans. You can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com, and on our Facebook page, these photos are taken today by the fabulous Alison Moon, who's right over there. If you're listening to this show on iTunes or Stitcher or some other podcast app, thank you so much for subscribing to us. Take one moment if you can to stop and rate and review us. That helps other people find us. It actually does. Our show is recorded live today at the fabulous Wayfair on Ferret Street, where they put fine dining into a sandwich and fine booze into a glass. Colin, you've only drank half of that beer, or is that your second or third one? I wasn't
Nursing it.
Told me to milk it.
He's been busy singing.
You guys are both finished. You had that bourbon one there. Myesha, what did you have?
Grey Goose, water, lime, and a lemon.
Oh, that sounds nice. Come on down here anytime you want by yourself, or come back and see us. We're here on Wednesdays from 4 to 5 at Wayfair, or come and have a drink anytime down here. They have a 3-hour happy hour from 4 to 7 and brunch on the weekends. Our show is a production of INO Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Andrew Duhon will be back here next week. I'm Grant Morris on behalf of all of us around the table here at Wayfair. Graham DePonte, our producer, Christian Unreal, our music director, Alison Moon, our photographer, Chris Kehoe behind me, our technical director. I'm Grant Morris. I'll see you back here next week on Happy Hour.
Hay muchas maneras de enviar dinero a casa, y todas las empresas me prometen buenos tipos de cambio y transferencias seguras. Puede ser abrumador. Comencé a utilizar Remitly porque puedo seguir mi dinero en cada paso, lo que me permite saber exactamente cuándo mi mamá recibirá su dinero. Y con su extensa red de pagos, mi mamá puede recibir su dinero de una manera más conveniente y segura para ella. Ve a remitly.com o descarga su aplicación para comenzar. Remitly Inc. es un medio para transferir dinero autorizado por los estados de Nueva York, California, Massachusetts y otros estados.